This is the item on the job description. Over the last week, I went through the job description, cleaned them up a little bit. I noticed there were some comments made by council regarding the community development manager. I put that, I noticed there was 2 job descriptions. I made one succinct one and removed some of the areas of the planner discussion that we had about that. I also made it pretty apparent that the city administrator is the finance director, as it says in our code, and public works manager's description was pretty much left as it was. Do we have any questions about this?
Comments from council?
I was just going to say, like stated last week, approval of these job descriptions doesn't necessarily give the go for anything other than what's already budgeted for the 2014. And then we will have to bring a budget proposal for next year to see.
For the FTE, right now, we talked about that finance money.
Correct. So, I guess let me answer that question a little bit more, that if by chance council did approve the 2 management positions that we were talking about, the community development manager and the public works manager, council does approve that. I would like to be able to post those positions. We just would not fill those positions until we were able to do a budget amendment, so that we'd be able to post them and see the applicants that would come. It's not, but without filling it.
Yeah. The question is, are we required, once we post a job, to fill a job, or a requirement? That's what I want to ask. Do either one of those jobs...
We've posted jobs before and haven't been able to fill them.
Are either one of those positions in our budget now?
Yes and no. The public works director / community development is in there.
So we haven't got it.
So we're basically, we're just separating them out. And basically, we're still keeping the same number of FTEs because we didn't fill the community development director.
Community services.
Or community services director, and we didn't fill the public works director / community development. Does that make sense? So we're still the same number of FTEs, just kind of moving it around a little bit. Actually, it's being filled by 2 people, right? Or one person is doing both jobs.
Right.
So, which makes it rather challenging. I'm sorry. Any other questions? Councilmember Sutton?
Not exactly a question, but a follow-up to this, assuming these are approved, and this is something that's come up in other issues before as well. We could use a thorough review of everything that refers to these positions elsewhere in code, because we have code provisions that refer to positions that don't actually exist. You know, this will be the authority of a position we don't have. So could we, once we establish these, review code and make sure that code accurately refers to the positions that actually exist?
Yes.
It's a long, boring, clerical thing, but it needs to be done occasionally, every 2 decades.
Further questions? Council pleasure?
You've got the fee schedule on the first page is different than
last week?
Yeah, 5441 on one chart, but on page 83 it's 4047 for the community services director. Oh, I'm sorry. Community development. Different word. Okay.
They're different positions, right?
Yeah.
One is the actual budget, the other is the amended.
Okay, no problem. I get it. It is.
So what's council's pleasure?
Move to approve resolution 2014-157.
Second.
Councilmember Sutton.
I believe these are reasonable cleanup, confusing descriptions we have, and lay out a good groundwork for moving forward, assuming we can fit everything into the budget.
Councilmember Hughes.
The same as I did.
Any further comments from council? Seeing none, comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call of council, please. Councilmember Steiger?
Aye.
Councilmember Garberding? Aye. Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember Cave?
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, resolution 2014-161.
Resolution 2014-161 is the approval of memorandum of understanding with the Teamsters Local 117 for 2 public works seasonal maintenance workers.
Questions from council? Councilmember Case.
Yeah, reading through this, I noticed that they're gonna require them to pay an initiation fee of $100 plus union dues.
Correct.
I mean, these are temporary positions, part-time work.
But it's 40 hours a week. Full-time. It's full-time.
Full-time work.
Okay.
But they do not receive any benefits for the time that they're here, because it's under 6 months.
Right. I mean, I don't understand why you need to pay a $100 initiation fee.
Because normally it's 300, they're reducing it to.
Okay.
Any other questions from council? It's council's pleasure.
Move to approve resolution 2014-161.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Putnam.
We definitely need the extra help in the summer. Got the union's agreement on it, let's get it done.
Councilmember Steiger.
As long as we pay no benefits.
Any other comments from council? Seeing none, comments from the audience? All right, seeing none, roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Gervin.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Case.
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson. Aye. Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, resolution number 2014-162.
Resolution number 2014-162 is approving drug and alcohol testing policy for CDL drivers. The city doesn't have a policy currently, and we are testing CDL drivers, so we need a policy.
I move to approve 2014-162.
Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Steiger.
I don't think there's any discussion needed on this. Formalities we need it done.
I do agree that anybody that drives a vehicle in and for the city needs to have this done occasionally. We need to have it where we can drug test.
Any other comments? Councilmember Case.
The problem with this is that it's limited in scope. It only refers to the CDL drivers. We need a drug and alcohol policy, especially with the passing of initiative 502, marijuana being legalized. I don't think we want impaired employees, period, regardless, and we need to have, I understand it needs to be negotiated into the contract, but that is something that we need to start working on as a city. We need a recommendation from management as we go into the next couple of union contracts, and we're entering into one right now with the state.
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Seeing none, roll call of council.
Councilmember Gervin.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Case.
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson.
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, resolution 2014-163.
Resolution 2014-163, setting the time and place for public hearing on June 9, 2014 at 6:30 p.m. in the City of Pacific City Council chambers regarding the 2015-2020 6-year transportation improvement plan.
Move to approve resolution number 2014-163.
Second. Councilmember Jones.
It's part of our responsibility to go through the public hearing on our transportation plan and make sure it's up to date, compliant with state and county requirements.
Councilmember Knudsen. Any further comments from council? Seeing none, comments from the audience? Okay. Seeing none, roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Case.
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson.
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger.
Aye.
Councilmember Gervin.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, next item on the agenda, resolution 2014-165.
2014-165 is authorizing the execution of the agreement with Intellect in the amount of $334,416.30 for Valentine Street Light System. LED.
Move to approve resolution 2014-165.
Second.
Councilmember Jones.
I have a question. The cost is associated with the budget for the project.
Yes, it's in
And
there.
in fact, it's the LEDs, and we're looking at green and energy efficient lighting structure, so it's a win-win.
Councilmember Hudson.
None further?
Any other comments from council? Comments from the audience? Okay, seeing none, roll call of council, please.
Councilmember Tate. Councilmember Smithson.
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam.
Aye.
Councilmember Steiger.
Right.
Councilmember Garberding.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Ordinance 1862.
Ordinance 1862 is, we haven't adopted the 2012 International Building, International Residential, International Fire Code, or Plumbing Code, Property Maintenance Code yet. We need to. The one thing I would like council to consider when adopting this is instead of civil penalties, criminal penalties for violations of the building and residential code. Because it makes it easier to enforce compliance. And we have that option to make that either criminal or civil. Fire code is criminal automatically, and so is property maintenance.
So that would need to be included in their motion
That
to
would
adopt it
need
as
to
a
be included.
civil violation.
Can you define that just a little bit more?
Do you get a warning for this? or-
You get a warning.
Oh, okay.
In what way? Criminally, I could involve the police. I can enforce, like if we have somebody living in a house, we do have several, living in a house without water is illegal. All I can do now is fine them. I can fine the property owner.
Okay.
If I have a criminal violation, I can get the police involved and they can be arrested
Okay.
eventually.
Do we need to adopt and make some changes to the our existing code?
You need to
Not
put-
to adopt this, and then once we adopt this, our code states that this is what we use.
What's the recommendation from staff?
Recommendation from staff is to adopt the code with the addition of the amendment of making it a criminal penalty instead of a civil penalty.
Councilmember Tate.
I guess my only concern with going that far is if someone starts doing something, an improvement to the property without a permit or something like that, then it becomes a criminal act instead of a civil act.
You still get a warning, and you're still gonna get a stop work just like anything else. So it's not, the only time it would become a criminal act is if they didn't follow through with what they're supposed to. You know, if they're doing work on something.
I guess I wouldn't be in support of carte blanche, making every violation a criminal act. I think it's,
And that's something that you can do that. I mean, you can do it both ways. You could do and/or. This was recommended by the attorney, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Councilmember Pepe.
I'd be more comfortable adopting it as is for the moment, and having the attorney provide
Change our
details of the proposed criminal penalty.
Yes.
On the ones that do already have a criminal penalty, the amount of the criminal penalty is specified, is specifically in there, punishable by a fine of $5,000 or imprisonment not exceeding a year or both such fine and imprisonment. But I'd like to have the attorney give us guidance on what criminal penalties are acceptable for these violations.
Councilmember Garberding.
My concern is who would be making the determination on whether or not it was a criminal violation or, because I agree with Vic, it can't just be all or none. But who's going to make the determination on whether?
Well, the final, like, it would be, probably a judge in the final, stages. I'm just going by what was recommended to me by the attorney.
I agree with Josh. Yeah.
Further comments from council? We don't have a motion on the floor yet.
request open, so if you're gonna approve it, you have to approve it with a civil penalty or approve it criminal.
As it appears in our packet, it's set up for a civil penalty, but the amount of the fine per day is blank. And the ones that have a potential criminal penalty is not defined what that penalty would be.
Just per day.
Do we know, is there a legal maximum on the civil penalty per day?
Not to my knowledge, I know our code on all code violations is $250 per violation.
Is that in our fee schedule?
Yes. And it's in the code under.
Further questions from council? Councilmember Jones?
The necessity of getting this passed today versus,
Well, the fire is, we're trying to get it passed for some situations we're trying to deal with the fire inspections. It gives us some latitude as far as inspecting certain businesses.
I have a tendency to say that I'd recommend passing this, but there's the gaps in the charges as well as talking about what should or should be a civil versus a criminal.
And that's something we can come back and amend it later.
Well, and I don't have a problem too, if council's more comfortable to workshop this again, get some clarification, and bring it back. That's 2 weeks. I mean, I know that I've been kind of on that other resolve, that I'd rather we do it right the first time.
Well, I mean,
Councilmember Fletcher?
we have a fee schedule in place. Just because it's not in the ordinance doesn't mean we can't refer back to the fee schedule. So I'm all for passing it tonight as with the civil side. So if I'd like to make the motion to pass the packet as is, as with civil infractions. And so the ordinance 2014-1862.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm moving to pass ordinance 2014-1862 with civil penalties.
For a second?
I'll second that, but I believe it also requires a friendly amendment. We need to specify the amount of those civil penalties in 1704-040A, B,
These are where we're referring.
only A and B
Right.
are the ones that do not currently have the amount of the violation per day. And based on staff's representation, I'd say stick with the existing $250 penalty.
Sure.
So $250 in each one?
Yeah, for both A and B, the amount of
And
the
B,
civil penalty,
or no?
A and B.
Okay. So is there a second on the amendment? Actually, Josh made an amendment.
Second.
Okay. Can we just leave it?
Now we've got a second for the amendment.
Second.
What?
Was that you, the second? I
Yeah.
didn't write it down, thank you. Okay. So would you like to speak to it any further?
No, I think.
Okay, Councilmember Steiger, would you like to speak to your second?
No.
Okay, Councilmember Jones.
Question I have, based on what we're discussing now, making these civil, some of these are not. There are actual criminal.
Yes.
So we can't make all of this civil.
Right, no, the
Okay,
amendment
just wanna make
just
sure that-
specifies, yeah, in A and B only where it's.
I just want to make sure the clarity, that we're not attempting to change
No.
required criminal.
And for clarity, I suppose we should also note there are parenthetical comments from the attorney in the language of this that are not part of the actual ordinance. They are commentary from the attorney to the council.
Yes.
Councilmember Steiger.
I'm a little confused. Where is our enforcement for criminal going to come into play?
As far as code enforcement for criminal,
Yeah, so, okay, now we're gonna vote for them.
Well, it's laid out in here which one of these are criminal penalties.
Well, yes, but you wanted the whole thing to be criminal, right?
well, yeah, we're not doing that.
Okay, but, so, I'm confused, because you said something about that, having the attorney make up a separate,
We're not gonna go that route. We're gonna go ahead and just leave it basically as is and approve these civil and the,
Right.
It's
Yeah.
written as civil penalties in the areas where civil penalties
Correct.
are
We're
warranted.
looking at
And
criminal.
it states that they're criminal penalties, and criminal penalties were enforceable at that time by the, when the fire marshal goes out, he carries the badge.
I understand all this, but how are we gonna make it work so King can get the police involved? See, this, you're striking the criminal part out of this.
No.
No,
No.
not on all of it.
no.
No,
those
just the
criminal type
sections
things.
where it's
Here, see.
designed to be civil penalties. We can
So here,
upgrade
some
them
of
to
them
criminal.
are separate,
Yeah,
some of them
I realize, but the motion, I thought I understood that you were taking the criminal part
No,
out.
you can't physically do that. That's part of the code. If you adopt the code, if
All
the
right.
code calls for
Explain
criminal.
to people what you meant.
All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So now back to the original motion then. Or is that working? Correct? Councilmember Hutton?
Just for the sake of the public's prejudice, like we could go into which provisions are violating the building code, remains a civil, violating the international residential code, remains civil, violation of the fire code is subject to civil or criminal penalty, violation of the plumbing code, that's existing, is civil or $5,000 or up to a year in prison. Violation of the International Mechanical Code is a criminal penalty. And violation of the International Fuel Gas Code is criminal, and we cannot make that civil. So the basic building code and residential code remain civil penalties. The ones where you can actually blow things up remain criminal penalties. Well, more likely it's just gonna collapse.
Okay, so Councilmember Jones, I guess you had originally, made a motion to approve the ordinance,
Okay, I did.
or Kate, I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Who seconded that?
Josh seconded it with a friendly
Okay,
amendment.
well, but we voted on the amendment, okay. All right. Any more discussion regarding ordinance 1862? Comment from the audience regarding ordinance 1862? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Clinton?
Aye.
Councilmember Putnam?
Aye.
Councilmember Stager?
Right.
Councilmember Gerberding?
Aye.
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Councilmember Kay?
Aye.
Motion carries.